What if your worst death, that moment that brought you to your knees, wasn't a punishment, but a divine assignment? It sounds crazy, I know, but the most painful moments of your life hold a hidden purpose. They aren't meant to break you, but to break you open. Most of us spend our lives running from pain. We fear it, and we build walls to keep it out. But what if, by doing that, we're unknowingly refusing the most profound gifts the universe has to offer? What if every heartbreak, every failure, and every loss is a spiritual breadcrumb leading you back to the person you were always meant to become? Today, let's explore this idea. We're going to walk a path from suffering to soul-led purpose, and you'll start to see that the darkest nights of your life were actually forging your unbreakable light. From the moment we're born, we're taught that pain is the enemy. A scraped knee gets you a hug and a distraction. A failed test gets you sympathetic words and a promise to do better. We learn fast. Comfort is good. Discomfort is bad. So, we build a life around avoiding pain. We chase fleeting pleasures. We stay in jobs or relationships that are comfortably numb but totally unfulfilling. And we build these huge emotional fortresses to protect ourselves from ever getting hurt again. But then, a truly devastating event breaks through those defenses: a sudden job loss, a gut-wrenching betrayal, an illness that shakes our very foundation. Our first, most human reaction is to ask, why me? This question immediately casts us as the victim. We feel powerless, singled out by a cruel, random universe. This victim mentality creates tunnel vision, where the only thing we can see is the pain itself. We get stuck in a loop of blame and resentment, reliving the moment of impact over and over, completely convinced that life is happening to us. This perspective, while totally natural, is also a spiritual cage. It keeps us tied to the very suffering we want to escape. We think if we just resist hard enough or deny the reality of what's happening, we can make the pain go away. Bruce Lee famously said to never be in frontal opposition to any problems, but to control it by swinging with it. Yet, our instinct is to stand right in front of it, to push against the current of our lives, which only leads to exhaustion and deeper suffering. We end up at war with our own reality, and that's a war we can never win. But what if there was another way? What if the goal wasn't to fight the wave, but to learn how to surf it? The most profound shift you can ever make is realizing that life doesn't happen to you. It happens for you. This one change in perspective, popularized by thinkers like Tony Robbins, is the key that unlocks the cage of victory. It reframes every single event, especially the painful ones, as a necessary gift for your souls. Even every challenge and every heartache becomes part of a tailor-made curriculum designed to shape you into your highest self. Just think about the stories that inspire us the most. They're never about ease and comfort, are they? They are stories of incredible adversity. Nelson Mandela was imprisoned for 27 years, but he emerged not with bitterness, but with a vision that dismantled apartheid. J.K. Rowling faced countless rejections from publishers, while she was a single mother just trying to get by. Yet her struggles fueled a story that would enchant the world. These figures didn't just endure their pain, they let it transform them. They understood, on a soul level, that their trials were actually blessings. I remember when I lost a job I'd poured my heart into. At first, it felt like a profound betrayal. It confirmed my deepest fear that I just wasn't good enough. I was lost in that why me echo chamber for a while, but after the storm of anger and grief passed, a quiet space opened up. In that space, I realized the job had been a golden cage. It was prestigious, sure, but it was stifling my true passionate dream I'd long dismissed as impractical. That layoff, which felt like the end of the world, was actually the universe pushing me off a cliff. Not to make me fall, but to force me to discover I could fly. It was a divine intervention, a gift disguised as a catastrophe, pushing me toward my true purpose. Your pain is doing the same for you. It's not a random act of cruelty. It's a sacred course correction. When we start seeing life as happening for us, we can begin to unwrap the gifts hidden inside our pain. And these aren't just simple silver linings. They are profound spiritual tools for your growth. There are three main gifts that our worst days offer. First is the gift of awakening and clarity. C.S. Lewis wrote that pain insists upon being attended to. God whispers to us in our pleasures, but shouts in our pains. It is his megaphone to rouse a deaf world. In our day-to-day comfort, it's easy to live on autopilot and ignore the quiet whispers of our soul. But deep pain shatters our illusions. It's a spiritual wake-up call that forces us to stop, get real, and ask the big questions we've been avoiding. Who am I, really? What truly matters to me? This painful awakening clears the fog of complacency and gives you the sharp clarity you need to change course. Second is the gift of strength and resilience. You don't build spiritual muscle by lifting feathers. You build it by facing what feels impossibly heavy. Every challenge you overcome builds a new layer of resilienza, kind of spiritual armor that becomes part of you. You learn that you can survive. You learn that you are more powerful than your pain. That's not just a nice thought. It's a certainty that you've earned in the trenches of your own life. Think of the people and events that have hurt you the most. Ironically, they are the very things that have given you the gift of an unbreakable spirit. And third is the gift of deeper connection and authenticity. In our moments of deepest vulnerability, the masks we wear for the world fall away. The ego, with its need to be perfect and in control, is humbled. In this raw, open state, we finally get to connect with our true selves. We're forced to shed the persona we've built and embrace who we are, flaws and all. This authenticity is magnetic. It allows us to connect with others from a place of genuine empathy, and often, it's in our darkest hours, when we feel most alone, that we open ourselves to a connection with a higher power. When our own strength runs out, we learn to surrender and ask for help. In that surrender, we find a power and a peace that you just can't explain. Of course, understanding this intellectually is one thing, but living it is another. So how do you start integrating this, especially when you're in the middle of pain? It starts with small, conscious choices. First, the next time you feel a surge of pain, frustration, sadness, anger, just pause and breathe. Instead of immediately reacting and falling into the old story, create a small pause. Take a deep breath and, just for a moment, consider the possibility that this feeling is here to serve you. Second, grab a journal. At the end of each day, or whenever you feel triggered, write down the challenge you faced. Then, ask yourself one transformative question. How is this happening for me? Don't rush to an answer. Just sit with the question. This practice slowly retrains your brain to look for the gift, instead of focusing on the grievance. You shift from being a victim of your circumstances to becoming a student of your life. Third, use affirmations. Find a simple mantra you can repeat in tough moments. Something like, "This is for my growth," or "I'm open to the lesson this pain is teaching me." Our words create our worlds, and by consciously choosing empowering words, you start to shift your emotional reality. Finally, and maybe most importantly, practice surrender. This doesn't mean giving up. It means letting go of your resistance to what is. It's accepting that you can't control every event in your life, but you can always control your response. See every challenge not as a barrier, but as fuel for your soul. It's in this surrender that you'll find true freedom. The journey through pain is never easy, but it is always purposeful. Your worst days aren't a sign that you're broken. They're a sign that you're being broken, open to more love, more strength, and more of your authentic self. The pain carves out space inside of you, making you able to hold more light. If this message resonates with you, I'd be so grateful if you'd like this video and subscribe for more conversations like this. I also want to create a community of shared experience right here. In the comments below, share one event in your life that you now realize was happening for you. Let's inspire each other with our stories of transformation. I'll leave you with this final thought. Thank you for every event. As a sacred gift, give us the eyes to see the lessons, the hearts to feel the growth, and the courage to soar on the winds of change. May we trust that everything is unfolding for our highest good, and may we walk through our challenges with grace, knowing they are leading us home. Peace be with you.